Inside the emergency room, 22 doctors surrounded a young woman convulsing on the gurney, their faces masks of concentrated urgency under the harsh, fluorescent lights that cast no shadows. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? Only a stark, blinding clarity on the scene of impending doom. Monitors flashed red, beeping a frantic, discordant symphony of alarms that echoed off the sterile white walls. Each chirp and flash a digital scream for help. Her pulse spiked to a dangerous crescendo, then dropped precipitously. A roller coaster of vital signs that left the medical team grasping at straws. She was dying and no one knew why. A mystery wrapped in the failing flesh of a woman who had been perfectly healthy hours before. Outside the glass, a four-star general stood rigid, his uniform adorned with medals that spoke of battles, won but now seemed like cruel ornaments, his voice cracking between rage and despair as he pressed his palms against the cool surface, leaving smudges of desperation. 22 of you. And none of you can save her, he uttered, each word a hammer blow to their professional pride. No one answered, the weight of failure silencing the room except for the mechanical whirs and beeps. In the corner, a janitor holding a mop watched the monitor with eyes that had seen death before. In dust-choked alleys and makeshift field hospitals, eyes that missed nothing. His voice cut through the chaos, calm and certain, a steady anchor in the storm. Stop. She doesn't need that drug, he said, and the room froze, every head turning toward the interruption from the last person they expected to speak. The janitor's name was Ethan Cole, 35 years old, lean and weathered like a tree that had endured too many storms, with hands scarred from years of manual labor, each callus and line a map of hard-earned survival. Every morning before dawn, he woke in a cramped two-bedroom apartment in Arlington, where the radiators clanged like ghostly bells and the ceiling leaked when it rained, painting brown maps of neglect on the plaster. He would brush his teeth standing beside his 8-year-old daughter, Emma, making silly faces in the mirror while helping her tie her dark hair into a ponytail, their ritual a small defiance against the world's harshness. They ate scrambled eggs and toast at a small wooden table, its surface scratched from years of use, before he walked her 3 blocks to the bus stop, kissed her forehead, and caught the metro to National Military Hospital in Washington, D.C., a place where he moved invisibly among the white coats. No one at the hospital knew who he really was. No one knew that Ethan Cole had once been Captain Ethan Cole, a decorated combat medic who had served 3 tours in Afghanistan, saving lives with a blend of skill and intuition that bordered on the miraculous. No one knew he had saved entire units from nerve gas attacks, using a unique combination of modern emergency, medicine and traditional healing methods. His grandmother had taught him growing up in the Appalachian Mountains, where wisdom was passed down like heirlooms. A wrongful accusation had stripped everything away.
5 years ago, his medical license,
His military rank, his marriage, his future, leaving him a ghost in his own life. Now he mopped floors and emptied trash bins in the same hospital where he had once dreamed of practicing medicine, his dreams now echoing in the squeak of his wheels and the rustle of garbage bags. But he still watched the doctors work with trained eyes, missing nothing, diagnosing in his mind, his fingers twitching with muscle memory for procedures he could no longer perform. He still remembered every lesson, from the sterile precision of army field manuals to the earthy scent of his grandmother's herb jars. He still carried the oath he had taken, a silent mantra that fueled his days. His grandmother, Ruth, had raised him after his mother died when he was 6, in a cabin nestled among hickory trees, where the air smelled of pine and possibility. She was what mountain people called a yarb woman, a folk healer who could read sickness in the color of skin, the shade of lips, the rhythm of breath, seeing the body as a landscape of signs. She taught him remedies passed down through generations, teas that calmed racing hearts, poultices that drew out infection, pressure points that restored the body's natural balance, knowledge that was both art and science. When Ethan joined the army at 18 and trained as a combat medic, he learned to blend both worlds, finding synergy between ancient wisdom and modern technology. In Afghanistan, when morphine supplies ran low, he used willow bark for pain, brewing it over campfires. When IV equipment failed, he used acupressure to stabilize patients, his hands becoming instruments of hope. That unique knowledge saved countless lives, earning him respect and commendations, but it also destroyed his career. During his third deployment in a village outside Kandahar, an explosion released toxic gas into the air, a yellow cloud that choked the life from everything it touched. Among the casualties were Colonel Bradley Morrison, a senior officer with minor exposure, and 32 Afghan villagers, men, women, and children who had nowhere to run. Ethan, using his grandmother's methods, treated them with a combination of atropine from his kit and herbal antidotes he concocted from local plants, saving many but not all. In the aftermath, Colonel Morrison, fearing a scandal, accused Ethan of using unapproved, reckless techniques that led to deaths, a lie that stuck like mud. The investigation, swayed by rank and politics, stripped Ethan of everything, casting him out into a world that no longer wanted his kindness. Now, in this ER, he saw the young woman's symptoms, the convulsions, the erratic pulse, the cyanotic lips, and recognized what others missed. Not a cardiac event, but a rare allergic reaction to the antibiotic they were about to administer, one he had seen in a village elder treated with a similar drug. His voice, though soft, carried the authority of experience. The lead doctor, a man with a stern face and tired eyes, snapped, "Who are you to interrupt?" But Ethan stepped forward, his mop forgotten, and pointed to the monitor. "Look at her skin, mottled, not pale. And her breathing has a whistle, not a gasp. It's anaphylaxis from the PrEP medication, not sepsis. Give her epinephrine and diphenhydramine, but slowly, and use cold compresses on her neck to reduce swelling." The doctors hesitated, but the general barked, "Do it! We have nothing to lose." They followed Ethan's instructions, and within minutes the woman's pulse stabilized. Her breathing eased, and color returned to her cheeks. The room exhaled a collective breath, and for a moment, Ethan was no longer a janitor, but the savior he had always been. The general approached him, his eyes narrowed. "How did you know?" Ethan met his gaze, the past flooding back. "I've seen it before, sir." In Afghanistan. The general's expression shifted, recognition dawning. "Captain Cole, I thought you were discharged." "Wrongfully," Ethan said, the word heavy with years of silence. The general nodded slowly. "I'll look into your case. But today you saved my daughter." Ethan simply nodded, returning to his mop, but the seeds of redemption were sown. That evening, he walked home under a sky streaked with orange, holding Emma's hand a little tighter, knowing that kindness, like truth, has a way of resurfacing. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Kindness True Stories, for more tales of hope and hidden heroes.